You guys, let's talk about how to figure out what to post. You're going to set up an AI agent. This is about a 3-step AI agent on Zapier that's going to pull information from wherever in your industry is really innovative or ahead of the curve. For me, it's X and Reddit. What is being talked about on X and Reddit is going to become what gets talked about on Instagram. Instagram's where I make most of my money. So I'm going to have this AI agent every single morning send me 20 pieces of content that are quickly rising based off of metrics I set up in the advanced search on X for retweets, for likes, and for replies. If it has 100 retweets, if it has 100 likes, if it has 10 replies in like 3 hours, and this range of topics, it gets triggered and my AI agent pulls it and it's going to send it to me in the morning. So don't know what to post. Just spend an afternoon on YouTube learning how to set up this AI agent, or you can hire me to do it, but it's way easier. It's free to do it on YouTube, and it gives you what to post. Yeah. Fix that bottleneck. And then number three is where the gamble comes in. There's a certain point where your content has to get kind of professional.
Yeah.
This is not cheap.
No.
It's not cheap to go into a podcast studio and talk about. It's not to talk about your area of genius. It's not cheap to have a VA scheduling everything for you. It's not cheap to have clippers to content. But there's little hacks that, like, hire VAs, hire clippers. When you get to 20K, you just have a full-time editor.
Not just that, but like I had to do like a complete restructuring of my business at the beginning of the year, because I realized like I was at my limit of how much money my business could make with just me. And so I did like a audit of how much time I was spending, and I was spending basically like 15 hours a week editing on CapCut and coming up with these tiles and blah, blah. And because I was like so hesitant to hire someone else to do it. You had put me in touch with Emily before, reached back out to you, brought Emily in, and she has been a lifesaver for me. A lifesaver. She, like, I was like, I have this, I don't know if I haven't sent it to you, I'll send it to you, but it was like what I was hesitant to have the person do because they couldn't do it better than me. And like hers was like so much better versus like the sketch art bullshit that I had done. And just taking that stuff that I'm okay at, but that's not what I do really well, and just handing it off to her, and then because that's what she really does well. Oh my God.
Game changer.
Huge. And I'm sitting there going, why did I not do this before?
Yep. Let me tell you about a fourth bottleneck super fast.
Yeah, please.
And I'm so happy that Emily's a stud. The fourth bottleneck, people wait around for leads to raise their hand, and that is gone. That does not exist anymore. I mean, people raise their hand when you have a crazy strong personal brand. And fortunately, like, we have that happen. People are going to raise their hand. You got to make them raise their hands. So people don't understand how often you have to give away so much free value. I teach them, give away more free value than what your competitors are giving away in their paid value. So creating a lead magnet is gigantic, and keep those lead magnets coming, but also the ones that perform well, you can use that once a month. And then you realize, man, this person has opted into my last 6 lead magnets. They're begging, they're frothing at the mouth to go. So what we do is I get these analytics that Alyssa hits me up, Justin, this person's opted into 6 lead magnets. I go on Instagram and I send them a personal video. Dude, I was just checking my GHL and I saw you've opted into the last 6 lead magnets. Like, I'm not sure how much progress you made since you got those, but it's probably time to hop in ECA. Are you open for a call this afternoon with my onboarding coach, Drew? Spencer, you know how many times I've been told no? Probably none. Really? Yes, they're ready. They're not raising their hand. That is them raising their hand. So now I've learned.
Like it's the act that's asking for help, not the actions speak louder than the words.
Especially like, a lot of the people I work with are men. Men don't ask for help as easy as women. In coaching, I work with some more women because of autoimmune stuff. But in men who want to grow their business, dude, it's really hard to sit here. Like, if I sat here and we had a whole conversation about the bottlenecks in my business, there'd be ego get in the way of like how deep some of them are. But like, men don't want to ask for help.
Yeah.
Women are much better at asking for help. So you have to track this. You have to be tracking data. If you don't have data to look at, then you have nothing.
If it's not being measured, it can't be managed.
It can't be managed, and it can't be grown. So the fourth one is, Well, people are interacting. It's getting shares. It's getting saves. My broadcast channel is growing. People opted into this lead magnet. What happened after a lead magnet? Well, I waited for them. No, get on GHL. That's our CRM that we use. So get on your CRM. And I do think GHL is definitely the best for online creators right now. So get your GHL and see how much they've interacted and send them a video message on Instagram asking them to hop on a call with your, never say sales, say onboarding coach, with your onboarding coach, and let's get them rolling. So I remember—
they're leaving money on the table.
But like people used to raise their hand. Hey, I'm ready. Hey, I'm ready. That doesn't really happen because there's so much information going around. So you deliver information. Now what we're doing in lead magnets is now I'm baking it into the lead magnets. I have a page. Hey, I'm going to stop you right here. If you've learned something from this, then imagine the value you could get in my paid community. I would love to get you on a call with Drew. And I always say, I always say paid community. You say investment, and everything was investment call. They've interacted. They got this lead magnet. I'm putting this on page 13 where the first 12 pages blew their mind. Now I'm telling you, hey, for this next step, you need to pay money. But imagine how much more you're going to learn there than what you learn in this free or this $9 or this $21 resource.
Yeah. What I think you're touching on is something that just kind of clicked in my own head is, and I see this with what you do. I see this with what Contrarian does. I see this with a bunch of like online communities or like coming together for a common goal type thing. Yeah. And it's something very similar to what I saw with my own therapy, which was for anyone who wants to do anything, there's unlimited information out there. You can go on YouTube, you can listen to podcasts, you can read the books, you can listen to TED Talks, there's an abundance of information. There is very limited instruction and direction. And what these communities provide is how to use the information. It's kind of like in therapy, you have the awareness, but this is the integration. This is how you go from 0 to 1. This is how you go from 1 to 100. This is how you go from 100 to 1,000.
It's very well said.
And so it's that information versus direction that the community provides.
And because you said that, I want to double down on, if you give away more free stuff than they're giving away in their paid stuff, meaning what I teach my ECA mentees, if you're going to present a problem, there better be a fucking solution in that piece of content too. Because now people start viewing you as their coach before they even hired you.
You've already conditioned them.
Don't give a problem. Everyone else is giving problems. Give the solution to the problem. Actually, I just had an idea and I'm going to try this. My best performing piece of content that was not attacking Western Farm over the last month was my little sleep sack, where I just looked in the camera and I was like, you're going to take 3 grams of glycine, 600 milligrams. If you start, I wonder how it would perform if you start with that and then you got into the problem after. That'd be an interesting pattern disrupt. Flip it. Yeah. I gave you the solution at the start.
Almost like the Jeopardy. Here's the answer. What's the question?
That would have to work.
It would 100% work. That's why Jeopardy exists.